Hello, my name is Archie the Robosexual Doggo, and today I'm going to BrainSurge. The reason why I'm going to BrainSurge is because after seeing Pickles go to various Nickelodeon game shows like Legends of the Hidden Temple and Double Dare, I have grown inspired to do the same thing. I'm also going to BrainSurge because Joe Ross Productions grew up watching some episodes of that show when he was a wee lad. Now that the fourth wall has been damaged beyond mending, I will now head to Nicolas Cage's Time Machine store, only to find it's gone out of business. So I will travel to the Griffin's house, where I will run into my good dog, Brian Griffin. I will say to him, "Hello my good dog, Brian. Can I borrow Stewie's time machine for a moment?" Brian will say that Stewie's finished with his time travel antics, so I can use it. I go to Stewie's room, access his time machine, and set it to take me back in time to when BrainSurge was still on the air. A few seconds later I arrive on the set and I surprisingly find no long line of stereotypes. I grow confused, as I'm the first one here, but the lack of a line will make me hornier. Before I can think about leaving the set to go find a long line somewhere else so I can fulfill the requirements of the average pose to video, the sexy host, Jeff Sutphin, will step out onto the set. I will go over and say, "Hello there Jeff Sutphin, my name is Archie the Robosexual Doggo, and I wish to play on your swell game show." Jeff will look at me and say, "I'm sorry doggy, but no dogs are allowed on set." "Wait. Did you just fucking talk to me?" I will say, "First of all, that's discrimination, and second, yes I did. I'm a robot doggo, and I want access to your glory hole right now." Jeff Sutphin will grow pissed and say, "Security. Get this dog out of here right now, while I call the cops on his This is for not giving me a long line at the start of this adventure. Welcome come to BrainSurge, where you don't need a big brain in order to win, but a really big cock. Time to send out my white water waves like soy 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 bag. That was swell." After that, Jeff Sutphin will successfully have been turned gay and say, "Hello all my good men. Welcome to BrainSurge. Let us introduce our contestants. Normally the contestants will be referred to as brainiacs, but in this case, they will be referred to as brainy fags. The brainy fags will include me, McBoogles the Frog, Harko the Cock-Loving Clown, Pickles, Captain Crunch, and Childhood. Jeff will say it's time for level 1. There will be 6 visual and audible questions, and each brainy fag must use their pad to answer each of the questions within 10 seconds. The questions will all be worth 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 100 illis each for every correct answer. If a player answers incorrectly or runs out of time, they will not receive any illis. The 4 people with the most illis will go on to level 2. The 2 people who have the least illis will slide down what would normally be the brain drain, but is instead the ass drain, which is a small replica of the innards of the boat seaman's ass, complete with actual poopy. The questions we answer are as follows: which of these dildos is the dildo that the Pube Muppet requested but ultimately will never receive, because the Pube Muppet never obtains satisfaction? Which one of these sex practices was not performed in this scene of Big Top Cock 3, Clown Cock Clash? How many Taco Bell tacos did Barney eat before farting up a shitstorm? Which one of these PP penis cars looks different from the others? Which room in the Drewland Hotel did Drew Pickles go to? And in which position did the Big Mac eating grimace the personified purple penis tip land? After everyone answers the questions, Jeff tallies up our scores to see who will go into the next level, and the winning brainy fags are Drew Pickles with a perfect 250 lillis, me with a whopping 150 lillis, Parko the cock-loving clown with 100 lillis, and Childhood with 60 lillis respectively. The two losers are Captain Crunch with 30 lillis, and McBoogles the Frog with a measly 10 lillis. So they must be sent down the Astrain, but not empty-handed. For they each won a year's supply of diarrhea lillis delight, in every flavor imaginable. And a bucket of Nickelodeon slime-colored lube. They both will slide down the Astrain, which will sound like pookie pookie fart fart pookie pookie fart make it brown bag, that was swell. After a commercial break, Jeff will say, it's time for level 2. I will read a story from Jeff's big book of super brutastic swell chronicles of swellness that are absolutely swell, and I want you to answer some questions about what you just saw and heard. After you say your answer, sit your ass down on the chairs of wonder. If you get it right, you will play on. If you get it wrong, you will be eliminated and sent down the Astrain. He will then read out his story, which is basically what the average goes to video is. This one talks about his trip to SeaWorld. Jeff will ask us to list one of the stereotypes he saw in the long line when he went to SeaWorld. Childhood will answer, dolphins with their endless supply of job applications to work at SeaWorld's swell water show. That answer is, of course, incorrect, and Childhood gets sent flying into the giant mouth of the host on the wall. For context, dolphins were in the line in his story, but they were in line to start a dolphin uprising. It will be my turn to answer, and I answer, what else, Mexicans? That is correct, says Jeff. Drew will answer seafood chefs who wish to turn SeaWorld into Seafood World. That is also correct. Parko will say upon his turn, animal rights activists who want to shut down SeaWorld for animal abuse. That's another correct answer. Drew and I will both get correct answers by saying families with their screaming shitcorns of children and SeaWorld employees respectively. When it's Parko's turn to come up with an answer, he says King Neptune, which turns out to be incorrect. And into the giant mouth goes Parko, leaving me and Drew Pickles left. Jeff will then announce that it's time for the knockout round, where we have to match two of the same image on the board. All these images relate to the story. Drew and I guess a few matches correctly, however, I will stumble on a match and get one wrong. Jeff will then announce the sudden death round. Drew Pickles guesses another wrong match, albeit purposefully, because there are only two pairs left. I guess it correctly, causing Drew to be eliminated. Before he gets sent down the Astrain, I will ask him, Drew, why are you letting me win? Usually you let yourself win. To which Drew will reply, oh my good man. It does not matter if we win or lose, we still get some swell prizes. Besides, this victory is yours. I can always come back another day and do this again. Bye my good man. Win that prize, whatever it may be. I smile as Drew flies into the giant mouth of the host on the wall. Jeff will then say that I will move on to level 3. But we will not let these brainy fags go empty-handed. They won some Barney Bunch themed digital watches with various members using their hands and their cocks as the hands of the watch, with insane-ass clowns tunes instead of alarm sounds. Drew, Parko, and Childhood go down the Astrain like fun fact. The original plan for this video was to have McBoogles be the one on this goes to adventure. However, his text-to-speech voice had a character limit, forcing Joe Ross Productions to use Archie instead. Oops, we all just broke the fourth wall. Ag, that was swell. After yet another commercial break, Jeff will say, "Welcome back my good audience. Archie the Robosexual Logo has made it all the way to level 3, the final round. Here you will hop on your PP penis like a pogo stick, as you trace the patterns formed on the 4x4 grid within 90 seconds. If you get it right, the square will light up, but if you get it wrong, you have to start over. If you get the pattern successfully, hit the stop timer button, with your cock of course, and the grid will expand into 5x5, and a new pattern will be formed, which will be harder than the last one. Get the second pattern successfully and the grid will expand into 6x6 with the last pattern. The hardest pattern of them all. Here are the prizes for completing each grid. Complete the 4x4 and win a VIP ticket to all as fuck concerts. Complete the 5x5 and win an ultra-rare McDillis car replica, as seen in the wacky adventures of Ronald McDonald, better known as Penis Clown. And the grand prize for completing the 6x6 will win you a free trip to New Vegas. It is like New Vegas, only less apocalyptic and more swell. And as a very special prize, my little brainy fag, if you get them all, before the time runs out, you get to have sex with me, the males in the audience, and the manager. Faster than you can say what the fuck is going on here, the manager will crash through his office door and say, "Oh hells to the no, I did not sign off on that happening." Jeff will then turn to the manager and say, "It is too late, besides, this robot doggo never got his long line of stereotypes, so he should at least get you." The manager will grow silent and he will uncrash his office door and the game will resume. The first pattern will be shown twice on the grid. Jeff will add 90 seconds to the clock, and I will begin to hop on the squares like buying. This is fun buying. Pagolic, we love to ride on our Pagolic buying. There's the timer stop button buying, press. That was easy. Then again, the first one is always the easy one. The grid will expand to 5x5, and a new pattern, which looks like a penis, will be shown on the grid. The timer will start where it left off, and I will bounce on the penis like buying. Oops. I fucked it up, gotta start over buying. Who knew jumping on patterns shaped like penises would be complicated? Buying. I got it this time. Buying. It helps to be a robot doggo and have an expandable robot PP penis. Buying, press. That was a little trickier. Then the grid will expand to 6x6, and the final pattern will show up, and it will be really hard. To sum this up, it will look like a semen splatter with all the squares requiring long-ass jumps in order to come complete. The timer starts and I will begin to prepare my first jump like buying boy, only to land in the wrong spot. Luckily the pattern shows up again upon restart, so I do many mega jumps like buying, and you know they are mega jumps, because there are pauses in between each bounce. Buying, son of a bastard. The timer starts to run out, but in my vain efforts, I bounce on my cock as best as I can, until I make it to the end of the pattern, where I will do one more mega bounce, to stop the timer before it runs out. Jeff will then say, "Congratulations, Archie the Robosexual Logo. You have won all 3 glorious prizes, and for making it, before the timer ran out, you have also won a large gay sex orgy with me, all the males in the audience, and the manager." The manager will then step out and say, "Well, I knew this was coming, and pulls down his pants. And now I will enjoy my prize, which will sound like Jefferson is so sexy and all of the other Nick Game Show hosts doing the audience. Look at that. The audience was the line of stereotypes this whole time. That makes me so happy and happy and bursting with joy. The order of this video has been messed with so much but I guess this isn't your average goes to video. In the end using my VIP ticket as a dildo. It's a rarity to see the manager letting us rape him right away, so take the opportunity every chance you get it. Suck on my cock blah 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 blah. Here I'll suck everyone else's cocks too blah 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 blah. Now to shower everyone in my special white slime. Get ready, for I'm about to fire my helic gun in 3, 2, 1. Soy 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 soy, or in this case, helic gun soy 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 soy. Barney Bunch members should go visit game shows more often. Soy 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 bag. That was swell. Oh boy oh boy oh boy oh supercalifragilisticexpialidocious boy. This all sounds so time traveling, question answering, puzzle solving, astraining, post raping, tile matching, pattern following, penis hopping, prize winning, ultimately come surging swell fun up the bum bum of Scarface Stone. I think I will go to BrainSurge right now. Bon voyage my fellow but pirates.